This weather is killing me. It's September the 7th and it's 30 degrees. Needless to say, I've barely been reading anything because I've been barely alive. I started Skeleton Key about 20% in. Yeah, I think it's the heat that's making me not want to pick it up, because when I do pick it up, I'm enjoying it, I'm reading it, but when I can't even think about it. I mean, look how big my hair is. Get out. Right, I'm gonna lay in front of this fan, and that's about it. It's been a while since I've updated. Still reading, finally. I mean, so I am, I would say 80% through A Study in Drowning, and I'm absolutely loving it. The writing, Ava Reid does this thing with their writing. It's just so beautiful, and she can make grotesque things sound beautiful. So that one's great. I've also started should have brought them up. The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. I've started that one as my crime thriller option, and I'm really enjoying that. I love the way it's written. It's kind of like, it's obviously written as a story, but in between it's kind of like with the character's perspective talking to each other, because Catherine Moreau is the one writing their story, and the characters pop up now and then, like Mary comes in and goes, "I did not show any emotion, how dare you," and it's really fun. So I'm enjoying that, and I'm looking for the second book, but can I find it for the life of me? No. The only place I can find it is on the dreaded website that starts with A, for £13. So, but I want it. I'm a pain in the ass, and I want it physically because I've got the first one physically, and the third one in the series I can get from work, but the second one I can't find anywhere. It's so weird. This update is basically about a book haul because I got paid. So, but the first book I'm showing you is proof copy from publishers. It's from, I think it's from HarperCollins. Yeah, HarperCollins, and it's Like a Charm by Kerry Barrett. And basically it got me for two reasons. It's about witches, which the only romance at the minute that I'm enjoying are witchy kind of contemporary, and it's also set in the Scottish Highlands, which is the home of my heart. Scotland is the best place on this planet. So there's that. So the books I bought, the Waterstones signed exclusive edition of Impossible Creatures by Catherine Rundell. If you don't know, I am predominantly a children's bookseller at the Waterstones where I work, so I'm based in the kids department. And I do love reading 9 to 12s or America Call Them Middle Grades. And I'm just so excited. Catherine Rundell is such a fantastic author, and I'm so excited to read this one. I mean, Michael Morpurgo himself blurbed this as there was Tolkien, there is Pullman, and now there is Catherine Rundell. Are you kidding me? The great Morpurgo said that. I mean, look at this cover, and it's shiny. Look at that. And the sprayed edges. And because it's an exclusive edition, I mean, it's red with an apple on there. Because it's an exclusive edition, I think, obviously, it's signed with the sprayed edges. And I'm not sure if the actual edition is going to start with... It has this glossary in it for all the creatures that we're going to meet. Like, it's stunning. And it's just, I mean, it starts with the beginning. It was a very fine day until something tried to eat him. Sold. And then the beginning elsewhere. It was a very fine day until someone tried to kill her. This is what I'm reading for my book with a bit of red on the cover. Red, orange, or gold. This is what I'm reading. And couldn't be more jazzed about it. The next book is one I've read on NetGalley, so I've already read it, but I wanted it when it came out physically because I loved it so much, and that is Assistant to the Villain. TikTok reviewers are not joking when they talk about this book. This was a 5-star read. This was absolutely hilarious. It was beautifully written. The plot is stronger than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be just a wishy-washy romance. There'd be smart. There isn't any smart in this one. They had, I mean, spoiler alert, they had one kiss, which, because it's slow burn, made my toes curl. I was like, oh, they're kissing! I love it. But my favourite character in this is the frog called Kingsley. Look at him. Yeah. It's just brilliant. I love Evie as a main character. I love the villain. I need book 2, but it's not coming out until next year. That's the problem with NetGalley when you find a book that you love. Like, it's not even published yet, so the sequel is even further away than normal. But I've also got... This one intrigued me. I can't remember who. I think I saw it on TikTok. It was recommended on TikTok, and the premise sounded so interesting. It's basic. I think is this historic? It's a love story between a gravedigger and I think a girl who can see ghosts. I can't remember. But I think it's set in Trinidad. It's when we were birds. And the back just says, a love story, a ghost story, a house as old as memory, a city as slippery as a labyrinth, an island as wild and deep as a continent, and 2 young people destined to meet in the eye of the storm, carrying the fate of it all on their shoulders. I am hyped. I'm so hyped for this. And kind of floppy, which I enjoy. I love a floppy book. So I started a manga last month. I read volume 1 of My Happy Marriage, which is a Cinderella kind of inspired story. There's supernatural elements to it, but it is historical as well. And it's a slow burn romance, and I loved it so much I bought volume 2, 3, and 4 because those were the ones on the shelf at work, and I was like, manga comes very slowly. into the shop, but it sells like that. So I was like, I need these volumes because otherwise I'll be waiting ages, and I can't wait ages because I want to. And look how stunning these covers are. I heard it's an anime, or it might be. It's definitely a program, but I want to read the manga. I much prefer quiet manga like this. Like, my favorite manga is the Apothecary Diaries. Basically, I think I've told you about that in a previous vlog. But if I haven't, look them up. Apothecary Diaries, absolutely stunning. So there's that. But the book I am most excited for is Robert Dinsdale's new book, Once a Monster. I have this on NetGalley, but I got it so recently, and I was like, the book's coming out, I'm just going to read it because I'm going to buy the book anyway. I have all of his books. The Toy Makers is a superior magical historical fiction, and it's just stunning. I think I'll do a mini reading vlog about it in December, probably, most likely. But this is his newest one. He does historical fiction with a hint of, I mean, I'll say magical realism, but I know that's not culturally right because magical realism is more BIPOC and everything. Although, does it count? Because he normally writes from a Jewish perspective. I don't know. But this one is about a mudlarker, a young girl who's a mudlarker on the banks of the Thames in London, in early Victorian times, I think like 1840, and she finds the body of a minotaur washed up on the banks of the Thames. And that's basically it. Her name is Nell, which is just so cute. 7 feet tall, the creature has matted hair covering his legs, and on his head is the suggestion of horns. Nell's fellow mudlarks urge her to steal his boots and rifle his pockets, but as she ventures closer, the figure draws breath and is forced to make a decision which will change her life forever. So I think she's going to try and save this Minotaur man. I'm not sure what's going to go on in this book, but I know it's going to be great because it's Robert Dinsdale. And look how stunning that cover is. Oh, loads of people have blurbed it on the back. The author of Psyche and Eros, Luna McNamara, Kate Mascarenhas, who wrote The Psychology of Time Travel and The Thief of the Winged Horse, Stuart Turton, the author of Dark and Something Waters and The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hugo. They've all blurbed it, and I love their books. So, I mean, I knew I wasn't going to go wrong with a Robert Dinsdale, but having their kind of input really. God, I'm going to read this soon. I'm going to read this for my birthday, I think. Oh yeah, I can, because it's in November, and November I'm doing NetGalley November. Yeah. Oh look, there's a ballerina in his head. Look, there's a ballerina. Oh, I wonder what that has to do with it. Oh, I'll show you another one that I got sent as well. It was a while ago. I got sent it, but I haven't told you. And it's who sent this to me? Oh, Chronicle Books. Okay. Chronicle Books. It was on this little thing we get as booksellers. Do you want a proof copy of this book? And I said, yes, please. And they sent me a finished copy of The League of Lady Poisoners. And this is a true crime book. Look at that. And it's all about women who've used poison to murder. And it's beautifully illustrated throughout. I mean, I want that tattooed on me. Look at that. So it's about professional poisoners who were paid to sell the poisons and whatnot. Bit like the Aqua Tofana thing. Women who poisoned to escape their husbands, overlords, all that, women who did it to, try and have a better life. Look at these. It's beautiful. I'm so excited to read this. So there's kind of like, tells you all about poisons. Look at that. Tells you like the timeline of poisons, when some poisons were discovered, when some poisons were, at the height of fashion. We've got poisonous plants halfway through. We've got all sorts in here. Like, it's beautiful, and I'm so excited to get a pot of tea and some snacks and sit down and read about women who've killed. This is one that I think I'm definitely going to have displayed in here. I'm not sure how. At the minute, I've just got it kind of like sitting like this on top of a stack of books on the true crime bookcase. And that's probably how it will stay for a while, because I don't think I can get it face out yet. Not until I get the bookcases for historical fiction behind me. So then, because I've got historical fiction piled on the true crime at the end of true crime. So once that goes, I can shuffle it down and maybe have it face out. But it's just stunning, and the way the light catches it is absolutely beautiful. It is written and illustrated by Lisa Perrin, and it's just absolutely beautiful. In the UK, we're selling it at $18.99, which isn't too bad. Oh, look, there's the author. She's beautiful. Look at that. Oh my god, it's her first book. That's so cool. Foreword is written by Holly Frey and Maria Tremarchi, who are co-hosts of Criminalia, a podcast that explores the intersections of history and true crime. Ooh, I'm going to have to follow that podcast. That sounds like a bit of me. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Stunning. Green. Oh, that's my book haul. I'll update you when I've finished studying drowning with my final thoughts. But yeah, I hope you're having a wonderful autumn time wherever you are. It just turned, the autumn equinox was yesterday, so yeah, it's finally autumn. My time to shine. Okay, so finished studying and drowning. The writing was absolutely beautiful, and I feel so lucky to have a proof copy and read it early. My only issue is I feel whenever I read Ava Reid's books, I do feel apart from the characters. I don't feel enveloped in the world. But the writing style, absolutely beautiful. The plot was really well done. I really enjoyed it, and I really liked the kind of otherworldliness of it. It reminded me, in that respect, of Juniper and Fawn. So it was a 4-star read for me. It wasn't the 5 stars that I wanted it to be, but it was still good overall, and I really do recommend it. So if you get a chance to read it when it's out, definitely pick it up. And I do believe like some places like Waterstones are doing special editions, so yeah, definitely keep an eye on those because I think it's going to look beautiful. It's such a atmospheric read that when it does start to get colder and darker, I think it's going to be a perfect autumnal read. They did a good job with publishing it at this time of year. But yeah, it was creepy, atmospheric. Another well done by Overread. Well done. Why can I never put this on? Hello. I'm back. Okay, so something's happened to my Earl Grey because that tastes revolting. Grim. Anyway, I'm here to talk about The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. This was such a good read. Tabbed it and everything. I really loved it. The premise got me because it's all female characters, or women are female. What's wrong with you? But I really enjoyed the different characters and because they all come from different Gothic stories in classic English literature, and also I believe an Italian short story, which is where Beatrice is from. It's really interesting. I really enjoyed kind of like I looked up some of the stories that I didn't know, like the I don't know the tale of like Dr. Moreau's Island. I don't know that very well. I know the premise of it, but I didn't know anything about Beatrice Rappaccini's story. So that was really interesting looking that up, and I enjoy the fact that Sherlock Holmes is in this and Dr. Watson. And you know, it was so good. I can see why it's won awards. And I'm definitely going to be buying and picking up the next one, because I enjoyed it so much, and I love the kind of found family that Mary has found herself with, and I'm looking forward to the future adventures of these girls. So yeah, 5 stars, I think. Yeah, I think 5 stars. Why not? Yeah, 5 stars. Yeah, it was a good one. Hazel, you're too far away, baby. Come here if you want cuddles. Come here. Come here. Stop smiling at me. Oh, the swallows are going mad. Come here, baby. He set me off now. I felt better. Hazel's with me, as always, under her blankie. Are you under your blankie, Papa? Are you tired? Want belly rubs? You want a belly rub? No? Kisses? No? I'll give you a kiss. Yeah, I know. So I've read The Ninth House.
it was good, but it wasn't as good as her previous books. I think, I don't know, Stevie was just a bit pathetic in this one. But I did like the descriptions of London and England as a whole was really cute, seeing it from an American perspective. I'm sorry about all the snot noises. But yeah, the murder as a whole was okay. Yeah, a bit so. That's just my opinion.
Okay. So I finally finished the 2 books left for the bingo board prompts. Let's talk about the bad before we talk about the good. So the book club pick was Vita Nostra, and I hated it. I hated it. I just didn't get along with. Firstly, the plot made no sense to me, and secondly, it just felt a little bit weird. And I have read a couple of other, a fair few other actually reviews where they mentioned how they no explanation of the plot or the magic system, and it just didn't make any sense. So I just didn't like it. It's not for me, and I won't be reading the sequel. So there's that. But this book was pure gold. This was absolutely fantastic. Neil Gaiman is right when he said that this book is fantastic, and Catherine Rundell's writing is out of this world. It is just brilliant. I need the second one immediately, so I will be telling Bloomsbury my thoughts and feelings and seeing if I can get a sneaky proof copy when the second one has been written. But this was so good. The characters we follow, we've got Christopher, and then we have Mal. So Christopher is from our world. I've just knocked the microphone. Christopher's from our world. Mal is from the archipelago. I don't know. Archipelago. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it archipelago. I don't know. That's probably wrong. It's one of those words where I look at it and I'm like, I know what it means. I just don't know how to say it. But I highly recommend this if you enjoy Philip Pullman. It felt very just, do you know what? This is one of those series that I will be recommending for kids who have finished Harry Potter or don't like Harry Potter, or this was 10 times better than Harry Potter. And that's not just because J.K. Rowling's a piece of shit. It's just generally how I feel. Writing style, plot wise, the world building. Yes, fantastic. So I managed to read a book for every prompt, which was good. But September did feel a little bit sad for me, just generally because I wasn't well for the majority of it. And obviously, the book club book was a bummer, so that made me a bit sad. But next month is Anno Dracula by Kim Newman, and then it starts again in January, and from January we will be voting. Well, December we'll be voting for the January book, so you guys have more of a say. there's more of a conversation, because at the minute I think it's a bit one-sided with me just like talking at the screen at you guys through TikTok about my weekly updates. But I would like to hopefully have more of a conversation, if not on TikTok or Instagram, but on Fable, on our book club app. So yeah, next month voting, you guys get more of a say. It'll be more of a conversation rather than me just blabbering. I'm started to gear up for my reading vlog for November, which will be NetGalley November. I'm going to try and read some of my NetGalley books because I have 134 that need reviewing, and some of them have been there for, shamefully, since I think 2020, so 3 years. So I have a stack here, because I bought them. It's a whole story. I'll explain in November. But my voice is going, so I'm going to wrap this up. Hopefully October will be more of a autumnal feeling month. Although there will be a heat wave, so that's great. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah. This is me signing off. I hope you had a wonderful September. And I will see you guys in November. Bye.